The Dagen wax canvas backpack. Let's check it out. Waxed canvas has been used since the 1800s. It's a natural way to be able to preserve packs and sails and different items that you want to keep water resistant. One of the things I love about waxed canvas is that it has a very traditional classic look to it, and really is perfect for gray man or if you just like to have that classic look. This is the Roaring Fire Dagen. It's a brand new pack from Roaring Fire Gear, and while it has those classic traditional looks, it has a lot of the modern features of today's backpacks. And so it gives you really the best of both worlds. If you like that look, this is a great way to go. Now this pack personally appeals to me because I had a lot of input in its development. And Roaring Fire Gear gives a 10% discount using RF10 with the link in the description. I guess when it comes to packs, there's a number of different options. Of course, you got your tactical type pack, ballistic nylon, low drag, no snag, a lot of really modern features to it, very usable and practical. But it does stand out as tactical. And there are some other options with these same materials that go more toward a subdued look for possibly gray man. When it comes to the Dagen, you have a very traditional look to it. And again, this wax material has been used for a long time, but it gives it a very classic look to it, which I really like. And again, it does lend itself to a gray man pack, but also around town, just has a nice look to it. I think it's a beautiful pack, but yet it has a lot of the modern features that this pack has. And that's one of the things that they wanted to incorporate is a traditional wax canvas classic look, and yet it's very comfortable to wear. I'm gonna be honest, I was out all day working with this pack, and it was probably one of the most comfortable packs I've worn, especially for a day pack. So to be honest, it just gives us some different choices. Now guys, one of the things that really stood out about this pack, I mean, it's a day pack size. It's not your big bug out bag 3-day pack. This is definitely one of those packs you carry around town. You have your get home bag in here, you know, put it in your vehicle, wear it around, go hunting with it. It's just that good size. It's not too big and too awkward. And I like this because it makes it easier if you need to get out of Dodge. It's not a big heavy pack on your back. But what I really like about this material, it's almost a cool material. I mean, it has that wax in it, so it gives it kind of a coolness, and it's a very soft pack. And yet it's rigid enough to where it retains its shape. So this is one pack to me that you can kind of live with. A lot of times with the ballistic nylon packs, nylon is kind of rigid and it's not all that comfortable. You could actually lay your head on this pack and it'd be somewhat comfortable. Now it's just under 16 inches in height. It's 5.75 inches. It's about 12 inches wide, and then it's about 7.5 inches in width. And this is fully packed. You know, it would be a little bit less if it wasn't fully packed. But that just shows you the shape. The canvas material is a really high quality canvas, the wax infused, and we're going to talk about how to maintain these packs. And honestly, it doesn't take a lot, but there are a couple of things to know. So let's start at the top and work our way down. Very nice neoprene grab handle. It's padded. Box X stitching on either side, so it's going to really give it some strength. The top is plain, and then we have YKK zippers. These are solid brass, and that is really nice. I mean, YKK zippers are really considered the best on the market. They're self-lubricating, and then with the brass, the metal, I mean, it gives it even more strength. And then you have your paracord pulls with keepers at the end. Now, again, that's one of the modern features. But one thing you'll notice is we do have a flap that covers the zipper. And zippers are an entry point to moisture, so this just gives it a little bit of protection. Here we have the Roaring Fire logo, which is, very discreet, and yet it has that kind of a leather look. It adds to the classic. And even the neoprene handle. I mean, it's a nice FDE Cody color. Next, we have a hook and loop field right here, and you can put your patches on here. Of course, with this sleeve here, it's narrow in a sense, but I mean, we've got some pretty cool objects in here. I mean, the headlamp, which fits in there, and you really don't see a lot of bulging. And then here, I just have some duct tape. But this is a narrow pouch, but yet it has some room in it. So it's not one of those sleeves that it makes it very difficult to put things in there that you need to. And same thing, it has that brass YKK zipper. Now moving on down, we have MOLLE attachments, and they're brown, so they kind of blend in with the pack. It doesn't really look MOLLE. You can put MOLLE attachments on here, or you can just hook things through here if you want to have some lashing points. We do have a pocket underneath, and again, it has the cover. It has the brass YKK zipper. This one is also very narrow in a sense, but you can put some pretty decent type items in here. So it's not one of those things to where, again, there's some that are so tight that you really are limited to what you can do. Now inside here is actually another zippered pocket, and so there's another sleeve in here, and I'm gonna have a hard time showing this one. It is not the brass YKK, but it is a YKK, and it's metal on the zipper. But this just gives you some extra organizational parts right up at the front. And again, we have the cover. Here on the bottom, it's reinforced, a little bit different color, but it's just going to give some added protection if you're having this set on the ground, if there happens to be moisture around. This is just going to help protect it, and honestly, it just makes it look nice. Now here on the side, I really like this, and this gives it that classic look again. But you have a grab handle. One thing I find is that I'm usually picking my pack up and moving it around, not by the straps, but by the top grab handle. This gives you a more horizontal type carry. We have a little snap, pop it up, you can pull it out loose. Not that there's anything under here, but it just gives it a nice look. And the snaps have that brass color to them as well. But this is reinforced, it's built into the material, so it's going to be very sturdy. I like how this carries, especially if the pack is more heavy. It doesn't bounce on your legs as you're carrying it with the top grab handle. So again, this just gives you almost that duffel kind of carry, and I like that. And the handle is double stitched here at the bottom, and so it's folded, so it makes it very comfortable again. Now while we can get these really thick bottles, and this is actually a little thicker than your standard Nalgene bottle. It'll slip in there, but this is a pretty serious thick bottle. But typically I'll just take a standard water bottle. It goes in there easily. It does have some room, and you have an elastic band here to keep it into place. And we have some MOLLE webbing right here on the top. Now traditionally with a lot of your wax canvas packs, it's just a thin strap, which has been used for hundreds of years. This has a very nice yoke system, and guys, I'm going to tell you, it is super comfortable. The padding here, well, it's not super stiff. It's pliable, but yet it's very sturdy and it's very comfortable. And you have this mesh material just to help to keep it comfortable. And then here on the back as well. This is a very soft pack, but yet it does retain its shape. And then you have your canvas coming through the center. But all these are modern materials, and then we have lashing points with webbing coming down on the straps. We also have a sternum strap, and we have the Fastex buckles. This is fully adjustable. And the straps themselves are fully adjustable, so you can really get those where you want them, and it has keepers to be able to tie up some of that webbing that's kind of hanging off. The yoke fits really nice around your neck. It allows for a lot of the weight to stay on your shoulders instead of just placed on your back and hanging down. Here we have the concealed carry compartment, YKK zippers, but these are not the brass, but they do have the pulls. So we lift it up. We do have some soft material in here that you can put a hook and loop holster. Here I've got a VP9. I mean, it's a fairly large pistol, and this has plenty of room. So it'll fit pretty much most of your full-size carry-type handguns. But the wax canvas itself, you know, they say it tells a story. And so when it gets creased, it remembers it. It's got a memory to it. But it adds to just that vintage look, and it just gives it that well-worn, just solid feel to it. While I like my ballistic nylon packs to look brand new, this just has that really soft, nice feel to it. And yet you can tell that it's not fragile. You can tell that, you know, it has that wax, and it's going to just keep it water resistant. Okay, the inside of the pack. Again, you have double YKK zippers. They go all the way down. Now you do need to undo your side handles. It goes all the way down to the end. This is not quite a clamshell, but it does open up and really gives you a lot of access. Of course, here, a lot of room in this compartment. We have just a Wooby, and these are great, but just mainly to show the fullness of the pack. And a watch cap, and we have some dry sacks and some heavy meal contractor's bags. A lot of room in here. Again, it's got that really soft feel to it. This is not wax canvas, but the material is very quality. I mean, you can feel the quality. We have a sleeve back here, and this is perfect for a small laptop. A 14-inch MacBook will go back here. There is padding here, and then there's padding on the back. And it's pretty generous in space. We have mesh pockets on either side. They have a little bit of elasticity, so you can put different things down in here. Got some cards and a Sharpie. But this just gives you just that extra organizational space when you pack this main compartment out. And guys, it's padded all the way up. I mean, there is a level of close foam padding. And so again, it helps to retain the shape, but it also helps to protect what's inside. Now the front flap inside, it has 3 elastic bands. They're fairly large, they're ample. So, you know, you can put multiple items in here if you want to and organize this however. It mainly just gives you a point here to keep things in place. Here we have 2 mesh see-through translucent kind of nets, again, elastic, and then you can put different items inside here. And it's pretty generous. It's not a lot of small little compartments, you know, which lend itself to good organization, but a lot of times they're so specific, you know, it's kind of hard to fit what you need. Here we have a zipper, it's YKK. It's not the metal brass, but it's just a good usable zipper. And again, these are self-lubricating. So once you start using them a little bit, they are very smooth. Inside here, this is the back of the mesh. And so I just have a bandana and a right and a ring pad. So a lot of ample room actually right here. So you could pack quite a bit in here. Well, with any piece of gear, you need to keep it maintained. With wax canvas, it's a little bit different, but really not difficult. First off is if you get any kind of stain or dirt on it, just take a wet, moist towel and just rub it off. If it's a stain, if it's staying in there, then you can put a little bit of soap. Don't use detergent. Detergent will degrade the wax. So a little bit of soap and water and just kind of wash it off and it'll do fine. When it comes to maintaining the wax, one thing that's really simple to do is take a hair dryer. And you can just blow it and it kind of rejuvenates the wax a little bit. You don't want to get it too hot, but it does kind of bring the wax back out. If you want to recoat, and typically about once a year or so, you can use otter wax. That's a great wax material that'll just help to seal your pack. And so other than that, I mean, there's not really a lot of maintenance. These, the more you wear them, the more you use them, the more scuffs and you're bumping around with them, the more they just have character. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about wax canvas. But again, you're just combining that traditional look with modern features, and it just looks great. One of the things about wax canvas typically is it can be very expensive. In fact, I've seen packs $300 and $400. And sometimes there's some special needs with the assembly and the manufacturing of wax canvas. But this pack sells for $99.99, which is a very reasonable price for a good quality pack, but much less the wax canvas. It has a very rich look to it. And then you get 10% off using RF10. It's not an affiliate. I just like the guys over at Roaring Fire, and I like their stuff. And so I was really glad, because this pack I will use on a regular basis. And so I was really happy to get it. But they also have a lifetime warranty, and they have free shipping in the continental US. So very reasonable, really good looking pack. Again, gray man, you're going hunting, bushcraft, you just want to hang around town. I mean, it gives it that good classic look to it. And we really appreciate Roaring Fire for sending the Dagen for this review. So guys, if you're looking for a pack that just has that classic traditional look, and yet you want something to withstand the elements, or you want to go more gray man and kind of blend in, the Dagen makes a great option. It has that classic look, but it has all the modern features of today's backpacks. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. It's almost like a nice pillow. Dagen, Häagen-Dazs. Let's have some ice cream. You know, you just want to get some. You want to get some dirt on it. I don't know if you want to get some dirt on it, but. A man and his cat. When you get a stain on it, this takes a wet wag. Take a wet wag and you can get the stain off. If you're going hunting, if you just want to go around town and just have more of a subdued look, but yet it's a very classic look. But the Dagen, again, it's just more stylized, and it's just great for, you know, hunters. It's great for, you know, getting.
There ain't nothing like a man and his cat.